the big news is that E3 is now open to the general public. And if you have $150, or you can really just like are really competent and can make like a decent media application, you can go to E3. I don't know how I feel about this, Shipwreck. You don't seem really worried about it at all, but I feel like there's already too many people there.
Well, it just makes me make sure that I make appointments more. Other than that, it really has little to no effect on.
If you fill all the days with appointments, then it doesn't really matter. The rest of
it doesn't really matter. I mean, the thing is, I don't think it's a great consumer show. It's just not set up that way. They could, if they want to change it to that, like it would certainly.
As you say, are they just going to change it to like a video game convention, like a Comic-Con,
like a PAX?
It's so weird because like all the booths themselves now, they've become very like behind closed doors. There's very few booths where you could just walk into an area and stand in line and play a game. You can do that in like the Microsoft and Sony booths would be your best chance of playing something. It's not going to be what you necessarily like got up that day and wanted to play.
It might even be just waiting online to shoot a basketball.
Well, yes, but I'm talking just like if you're going to play a game, if you're like viewing this as I'm going to go play all these like games early type of thing, there's not a whole lot of that there.
Unless they're changing it.
I'd say what should the reasonable expectation for someone who's paid to be there be? Because that's, it's a different conversation. It's not a trade show where most of the people who are there, the only people that have paid to be there really are the exhibitors.
No, I'm sure the exhibitors have been alerted to this, maybe even ahead of now.
I don't think they have so much.
Oh, really?
Just based upon the reaction on Twitter.
Oh.
I don't know that they've been necessarily told about this so much.
Because, these booths are big expenses. You have to have staff there. If it's open to the public and you're expecting a lot more people to be waiting in line to play something or see something, you have to make the proper accommodations.
And not
Can you
just
imagine
people.
The Ubisoft booth?
People who paid to be there.
People who paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
People who have paid not just the money to be there, but people who also paid for their trip, who are not doing this for their job.
Right.
A lot of the people who are there, they didn't pay their airfare. They're not paying for their hotel. They're not paying for their show tickets. So the behavior of someone who's there in a professional context is a lot different. And the expectation, rightfully so, is very different than someone who's paid a couple of $1,000 maybe.
Right.
Airfare, show ticket,
Sure.
hotel room,
Easily.
food. They're going to have an expectation for this. And if it's not met, it's going to be not a good scene.
Yeah, that's a good point. So what they really need to do is have panels and stuff like PAX has.
They need to accommodate their paying customers.
Right. And there are a lot of them. It's 15,000. That's the Islanders,
a lot of paying customers.
The Islanders don't have that many people showing up for their games. They wish they had 15,000 people. That's a lot of people. That's a hockey stadium.
It's over $2 million.
So the total number of people, there's been more than that if you added like last year's attendance and then this 15,000 people. There's been more than that in E3's past. But E3's past had more exhibitors.
Yeah.
There's not as many publishers anymore, and you can't have companies like Activision not have like a booth on the
or
show
EA,
floor.
EA
or EA. You can't EA's doing its own thing this year.
What happens if one of these people tries to go to the Devolver trailers across the street?
Well, E3's not worried about that.
Yeah,
I know they're not worried about that, but it's
Devolver's not going to be worried about that. That's appointments only too, for the most part.
I know, but you're gonna have people trying to get in all day.
Right.
It's just an added headache.
I know. I see people who are going to be disappointed if they spent money.
And people who may not understand that. What do you mean? You're here. This is part of the show. I paid for this.
So wait, Activision, I forget. Activision had something at the show last year. It was just
Activision. No, they were just upstairs.
Upstairs, right. Okay. So they had minimal presence. Yeah. So basically the ESA, that's who runs this? No, yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. They're just they're selling tickets to make up the difference.
Or the loss of the major publishers.
Because I'm sure they have to pay.
And just the shrinking publishers in general. I mean,
right.
There's no Disney anymore. There's no big Harmonix booths anymore. There's no THQ. There's no Midway. There's no Majesco. There's like you could just keep on like listing off these companies.
These companies that don't exist.
The Japanese ones have shrunk.
Sega is
tiny.
Is the Atlas booth now?
Right.
Yeah. And these companies weren't replaced. They're replaced by. There's an Oculus booth. I would guess that's not going to be as big this year, and that certainly can't accommodate any more people. It's just weird. Like I don't know where these 15,000 people are going to do other than sit in line all day.
Right.
To play what is the other? That's the other question. To play what?
Star Wars Battlefront. The line for that will be insane.
Yeah, and that'll probably be at either probably at the PlayStation booth. I guess it depends whichever one of the two is going to pay the marketing dollars. Last time it was PlayStation, so I'm just going to assume it'll be them again. Because there won't be an EA booth there, right?
No.
EA's doing their whole event elsewhere.
Across town.
Hollywood.
So there won't be an EA booth, so it's either going to be at the Sony booth or the Microsoft booth.
I mean, if you're wanting to go and just experience like E3 and just like walk around and look at stuff, that you can do that perfectly fine. You can play a few things, but you're not the idea of you like seeing like big name games it's just not realistic unless you're going to like waste an entire day, or you're okay with staying in line for an entire day to see like something like a Halo or like a major, like even like a second tier like AAA game. You're going to wait all day to see that.
Seems like a potential for a lot of unsatisfied customers, as Wombat said. Like, it's a really good point. Unless they've really planned it out. But, I mean, what are they going to have? Like PewDiePie there doing like a live stream or something?
They're going to have Jeff Keighley. You're going to have your live show.
Okay.
And if those 15,000 people are paying $150 to be in the audience of that live show rather than streaming it at home, if that's what they've come for, that's
What's
fine.
The live show?
It's the same thing they always do. Like they have
a booth. It's a booth.
They have a booth, but
you can watch him and you watch Jeff Keighley interview people and you see footage from on the show floor, and
that's cool.
Trust me, I know. I've done this the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a great thing.
It's a great thing for someone like me who doesn't really want to go, but still wants to see everything. Last year I took the day off of work when they had the press conferences. I stayed home. I watched all the press conferences. I didn't miss any news, and I got. You see more things, probably. Yeah, probably. It's
oh yeah,
presented
you definitely
to you.
See more things from home. It's just impossible to see everything there.
And if I had to pee, I could pause it, pee, and come back.
Right.
And yes, there were no food trucks, but I do have a fridge.
One meeting ever because I had to pee.
Yeah. Wow.
I had to leave one because it was too hot.
Mm-hmm.
And
you fell asleep in a couple.
Yeah. Not recently, though. I've been pretty good recently, I feel. Right, Chip, or no?
Yeah, no, we've all been very good recently. It's because I've gotten better at scheduling.
Right. Less crazy.
Like I know what we want to see, and I make it so we don't have to run across halls to get to it.
Right.
And I don't want to seem down about E3 at all. I love E3.
Right. Okay.
E3's fantastic.
All right.
Unless you're not going this year, Cheapy. No, I understand.
No. It's cool. I like E3 too. I'm excited. Look, who doesn't want to go to LA and hang out and look at video games all week? I mean, it's fun.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about it. It's a lot of fun. I just don't know how much fun it would be for somebody who doesn't have any kind of like meeting room type stuff.
This is funny because like before this announcement came out, Ty said to me the other day, he's like, I want to get a job and I want to go to E3. I think it would be a lot of fun. And I said, I don't know that it's that much fun if you're working, like you're really working while you're there, because you're just going from appointment to appointment. And then at the end of the day, you're going back to your hotel room to write articles.
Oh, you mean if you're working in a traditional press role.
Right.
Not at like a developer or something.
Right.
Okay.
Well, they have a whole other thing. I mean, that's really hard too, to like give demos all day. It's exhausting.
You want to be the game buyer for Target.
No.
That's
You want to
the
be.
person you want to be at E3.
No, I was telling
you're getting
right
to the front of every line.
No, they're not even going to the lines. They get their own.
Yeah,
they come to their office. Probably.
You're getting bags of junk, mostly cocaine. That's the real E3.
Well, ours is good too.
That's what you want to be.
Yeah, ours, like the influencers, podcasters, is a great E3 experience as well.
Because you don't have to write articles all day.
And influencers are becoming more important than writers. So, yeah.
They both have their place.
I'm not saying they both don't have their place. I'm just saying, in this current environment. But, yeah.
It's just going to be interesting because I don't think the companies they have to adjust their message so much here, because they already have a message like it's meant for retailers and like PR and press and everything. This is what they've set their whole E3 schedule around. Right. Now they have to do that, and
we should investigate.
A consumer.
Let's talk to some of our friends and find out what's going on, and then we can report back anonymously.
Right.
Might be interesting.
We'll know more by next week.
Yeah.
But I'm still looking forward to it. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm worried about lunchtime.
Right.
Because 15,000 more people trying to find lunch.
Yes, that is always a problem.
I'm hoping they stay in the convention center and eat there.
I think they will.
I think they will too.
The food truck situation was not great last year also. They need to get that shit together. That's very important for the enjoyment of the show. Many food trucks close by, and not just on the show.
A big part of E3 too is the parties afterwards, where there's also games and stuff to play, and that would be really tough for that to be consumer driven.
Right. They need to make separate events, maybe.
Yeah.
I wonder what's going to happen. You think Microsoft is going to put, or Sony's going to have a big party just for the public?
Well, Microsoft and maybe Sony already have minor things beforehand. They have meetups with Major Nelson and
right, but that's not accommodating 15,000 people.
No, it's not packing a basketball arena full of people.
Right, it's crazy. Well, good luck, everybody. It sounds like a lot more work.
Right. It does sound like a lot more work, and I'm interested to see where it goes, because I don't know what E3 what its role is necessarily right now. It's the same thing going back to that Console Wars book and seeing how business was run just 20 years ago, where it was really about getting all of the retailers into a room and showing them a PowerPoint about what games you had coming.
That was the most important. That was all that mattered.
Right. That was all that mattered. And how much that has changed now. So and they can't be PAX because there's already PAXes everywhere.
Right. They got every state. There's one in every state now. There's 50 PAXes.